This is how I made £20 million and was able to retire at 40 years old. Now, depending on your age, you may think 40 years old. I don't know, but I always think 10 years older than you are is old. So I still feel young, and you can retire young too. The key to retiring young is, first of all, frame retirement in a certain way. In addition, and I'll get into that in a moment, I also believe that you have to actually have a plan, and I think one of the biggest elements is taking risk as early as you can. So today I'm going to talk about the risk I took and maybe help you understand why some businesses work and some don't, and how you can make £20 million and retire if you wanted to. Now, before I tell you how I managed to make so much money, I just want to caveat by saying money is not the most important thing in life. Now, I know it's easy to say when you've got money, but I honestly believe with all my heart that money only makes you happy if you're already happy. Please keep this in mind. Actually, I would also say that if you want to make a lot of money in life, the key to making a lot of money is a bit like the key to finding love. Don't chase it. Let it happen. I think a lot of people who chase money don't make it. There's this thing in the investment world, and I invest in a lot of startups. I think this is one of the ways I've managed to make lots of money, is this concept that if you ask someone for money, they'll give you advice. If you ask someone for advice, they'll give you money. So the key here is don't chase money. Now, I know that a lot of you guys listening want to understand how to build a business. And I have done previous videos on things like how I got started at 15 with no network, managed to start a business with no capital, and you can watch that video here. But I want to talk today about how perhaps you can think about making big money, how you can actually scale maybe a business you've already got. And this is how I've done it in the past. So the key to it, in my view, on how you build a successful company is to build a brand, not a business. I started a company called Fluid, which I would eventually sell to PwC for more money than I'll ever need. And in that process, I discovered that it was brand that actually made that business valuable. Brand is made up of many things: the people, the service, the mission, the purpose. But if you can get brand right, then you're no longer in a race to the bottom. If you're just a business, often it's just a structure that allows people to see transparently your price, and ultimately that leads to a depreciation in value in what you can charge. But if you're a brand, and think of Nike and Apple, frankly, Apple is not the best product, right? We all know it's not the best phone, but it can get the most value because it's a trusted brand that's protecting your data in theory. So therefore, it becomes something that you want to be associated with. So that's one thing. The second thing I want to tell you about how to build wealth in business is something I think I need to sit down to explain. So come with me. So the second thing I want to teach you about building wealth, and the thing that took me quite a long time to understand, is this concept of buying time, not selling time. Now, I have built businesses where initially I am selling time. Literally, people pay me for the hours that I put into something. That is not scalable. So how do you buy time? Well, first of all, I think you have to understand the value of money, the real value of money. And the only thing money can buy you of any value is time. So as you make money, you have to reinvest it. Now, one of the reasons I think Fluid was so successful, the agency that I sold to PwC, is because every time we made money, I didn't take the money out of the company. I didn't put it in my pocket. I reinvested it in buying time. So hiring great people that meant we could do more things in the same amount of time. Building infrastructure. Flying in business class, for example, which I find really hard to do, but you save 2 or 3 hours, you're able to sleep on the plane. You give yourself those extra elements of time that give you space and freedom to create. Today, as I'm now involved in creating content to help you guys, the time I'm really trying to buy myself is by creating content of all the questions that I get asked every day by you guys. How to build business, how to make money, how to be successful, how to enjoy work-life balance. And so that's why I do what I do today. I'm creating content on video to buy myself time. In other words, I produce this video for you, I put it out there, hopefully it scales and is useful to lots of people, but I don't have to spend hundreds of hours away from my family, from the ones I love, doing hobbies that I love, but I can still have an impact. So I am practicing this model I learned at 23 of buying time, not selling time, my whole life. Now, there's one more thing I want to talk to you about that I think is crucial to ensuring you can build wealth. So let's go for a little walk into the kitchen, get a drink, and I'll tell you what I know. I want to tell you about building wealth and building a successful business is, and I can only use my own experience, so I think this is the way to do it, and this is what my experience tells me. But this might not be the right way for you, but it's certainly the right way for me. And I found that when I came to sell my company, when I came to sell fluid, as I mentioned earlier, to PwC, that's when you have, frankly, the big payday in business. So if you built a brand and you've invested all the profit you're making back into the business, you might be asking yourself, well, then, I'm not putting money in my pocket. But the big payoff comes, I guess, at that exit moment. You hear it a lot with people that have sold their company for £1 billion or £2 billion. That's where the real value comes in, and that's how you, in my view, go from zero to £20 million. You have to have an exit. So I've had quite a few exits in businesses that I've built up or invested in. And I think one of the elements, if you want to have an exit in your business, you have to follow the two things I just mentioned. You have to learn to buy time, not sell time, and you have to build a brand, not a business. But this final thing you also have to learn to do, and that is you have to not want to sell the business. One of the reasons I managed to, I think, get such a good price for the business that I sold, and one of the reasons I've always managed to make money from the businesses, is because actually I didn't want to sell them. I'm quite happy to be a part of those businesses, continue to work in them or help them. Those businesses often become profitable. You don't need to sell them. That's a big key element to building a successful business and creating real wealth. I hope you guys found these insights useful today. I love sharing stories with you that I think could be, in the end, useful to you in your career. Let me know if it is in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions around these 3 points I've mentioned today. I always reply to comments. I want to help you guys for free. I think free has so much value. All you have to do is listen to the content to see that this free content has value. And finally, if you did think this video would be useful to other people, come here, little guy. If you did find this content useful, then do me a favour and share it so the next generation can enjoy the knowledge that I've gained through hard work. I know sometimes you have to go through the pain yourself to learn, but maybe, just maybe, by listening to this video or sharing it with others, they don't need to go through some of the pain that I had to go through. You can learn it up front. Build a brand, not a business. Buy time, don't sell time. Right, Aidan?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining this video. You're the reason I do all this, you know that?
Yeah.
I want people to have knowledge so that the world is a better place for you. I love you. You're a good boy.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, folks. See you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon.